This next individual that we're going to recognize is, it's pretty special to me. I've gotten to know this gentleman over the last few years, and no secret, this is our Outstanding Achievement Award, and this goes to Mr. Kevin Kehoe of Anchorage, Alaska. Kevin, please make your way to the stage while I tell a little bit about you. We're very, very pleased to bestow this award. K2 is what everybody calls him, Kevin Kehoe, especially those of us with a Kevin first name, we differentiate. But one of his board members in Alaska nominated him, and I'm not going to read all this lengthy stuff, but I can tell you that when our Alaska chapter went dormant a few years ago, we felt that was pretty tragic. Literally, a quarter of wild sheep in North America live in Alaska, and so Kevin picked up the reins and breathed life and energy back into the Alaska chapter. He's a retired general, so when he says we're going to get something done, people around him get things done. And so I know his wife Eileen is here, but please help me welcome and congratulate Kevin Kehoe, president of our Alaska Wild Sheep Foundation chapter, with this year's Outstanding Achievement Award.
Thank you. Go ahead and sit. Thanks, Kevin. I'm truly honored to get this award, but realistically, no one person wins the award. It's always a team behind that person that puts it all together. I'm blessed with a board in Alaska, beginning with Jack Atchison Jr., who suckered me into this, or maybe I should say recruited me into the position. Guys like Aaron Bloomquist and Skip Bourgeois, James Cooney, who's now he's a government civilian working a tour in Afghanistan currently, and David Richards. And then you get down to the team of wonderful volunteers. When the old organization folded, we lost a couple generations of sheep members or sheep volunteers in Alaska. Since then, it's been myself, a couple folks my age, and a whole great, wonderful team of millennials that's tried their best to educate me on things like FaceTube, and they're still trying to make it work. So I really want to thank all of them. When you go outside of Alaska, there's also a wonderful bunch of people like Kevin Hurley and Kurt Alt and Clay Brewer here in the national organization, and then some wonderful people like Tom Besser and Perry Wolf, Helen Swansea from British Columbia. And as it turns out, the reality is they say it takes a village to raise a kid. It turns out it takes a heck of a lot more PhD and biologists to educate an Army guy. And so I really appreciate their help. We're an organization of not only resident hunters, but also wonderful guides and outfitters, many of which are here tonight. I have to keep my comments brief because turns out Coke Wallace used up all of the allocation of Alaska time last night during his speech. So I want to thank them. And then we have non-residents, and Chris Barker even thanked me the other night over drinks for even allowing Canadians in. So we're an all-inclusive organization. So all I can say is thank you. I want to thank my family for their support and everything I do. A couple things to leave you with is, one, embrace dreamers. It's young people that'll make the difference in the future, and we've got to preserve this wonderful resource for those dreamers. Let the mountains sort them out. So we want to be basically inclusive and not exclusive. And the other thing is, the true measure of a man or a person is not what they take off the mountains, but what they put back. So again, thank you very much.
Indulge me for a minute. I'd like to read the etchings on this Outstanding Achievement Award to Kevin. The Wild Sheep Foundation recognizes and appreciates your significant and exceptional efforts to reestablish and reinvigorate the Alaska chapter of WSF, your efforts to raise awareness and conservation interest in the Dall sheep resource of that state, and to execute the Wild Sheep Foundation's No Contact in the North initiative to protect 25% of North America's wild sheep from the threat of disease. Your efforts have contributed significantly to putting and keeping wild sheep on the mountain. Congratulations, Kevin Kehoe.